Today we're joined by, as usual, Jason Cole. What's happening, Jason?
What's going on? I am excited to be here, but I wish I was in a different place right now, coming to you with the show. I should be hanging out with Mac Hodges right now, flying airplanes, having fun at Hodges Field. There's an F5J event this weekend, and I backed out. I canceled because it's rainy today. It's crazy winds, thunderstorms, flood warnings tomorrow. It's just too far to drive. I would love to hang out with everybody, but I would love to hang out with everybody while flying airplanes and having a contest. So sitting around and paying all that money and driving that far to sit in the rain, it's not good for me. So
I don't know about the weather there, but I know the weather here is just going to continue to be kind of meh. Is that how it's going to be there?
Yeah, it's going to be worse there tomorrow. Like major thunderstorms predicted, 100% chance of rain, thunderstorms. It's going to be nasty. There's a lot of people still going, and that's great. They're going to hang back, drink some beers, have fun, and then they'll be flying Sunday. It'll be a little chilly to start, and then it'll warm up into the 60s and should be fine and fun flying half a day Sunday. Then everybody has to leave. So just not worth it for me at this point. So I'm a rainy, fair weather flyer, as you could say.
Hey to everybody. Hey to Mac at the field. I always say when I die, after whatever happens, when I open my eyes, I will be at Mac's Field, and
Yes.
that'll be my entry into whatever happens next.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's how that works. Jason, I have been looking at, and I'm saying this because I'm going to ask for your help if I get to this point. I'm looking at getting one of two things. I'm either going to get a new 3D printer, because I kind of gave up on my old one, which was first gen and so not user friendly.
I thought you were going to say a guitar tattoo on your face.
Yeah. Well, it's all the rage. Now, I remember when Tyson got that, I was like, "Is he crazy?" Now, to be famous, you've got to tattoo a lot of things.
Fool, yeah.
Neck, RC groups, Flying Giants. But if I don't get a printer, though, the other thing I'm looking at is I know that DJI probably makes the best commercial and non-commercial level, entry level drones that you could throw in the air and get great photos and videos, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking for non-DJI similar products that are not as expensive, but almost as well appointed. So I've been watching videos on what to buy.
Okay. And have you come across anything that was interesting or?
Not yet. And even if I did, I wouldn't say it because I found one this morning and I'm like, this is it. And then I found a video where it was unreliable. And the last thing I want to do is spend a lot of money and then have something break.
So I'd say get the printer and then print your drone.
I might do it. And the reason I say 3D printer is because our 3D section, it just keeps growing and growing and growing because now, and we've talked about this in other broadcasts, but the 3D printing of planes and things that go on planes it's growing. I knew it would be big when it started, and that's why I got one, but I didn't know it'd be this big.
Every week I've got an article about something 3D printed, and this week holds true to that. And I think we'll get to it in the news, but it's stinking awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. And if you haven't done it, check it out. You can find it in the forum. We'll look at it later on. But first, I realized we haven't done any throwback videos. And so I was scrolling through the videos. I was looking for the elevator interview at Toledo. Yeah. And before I got to it, I came across it said RC Group's video podcast number 1. So this was first of the series. Yeah. And so I'll throw us over here and make sure we can see it. Now, what you're looking at is the field that Jason and I flew at way back in the early days of Hobby Lobby. This is literally why I'm in the hobby business. This is 3 miles from my house. You could walk there if you had to.
What year was this? Is there a date on it?
9 years
ago. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to watch here, and when I clicked on this, I thought this will be interesting. I had a floaty like you would buy for a pool that looked like an airplane. I put a jetty motor, like a big boy, like it'd be really expensive now. And so the thing was, could we fly an airplane floaty? This has been so long ago. I know the ultimate result, but let's take a look. I haven't watched it. I only found it.
So it was fun.
Here we go.
This will be good.
Here, Memorial Day. The Tail Group originally was foam like the rudder, but I wanted to get it. I just wanted to make sure it was nice and solid. So I took some foam core and cut myself some elevons and put some 40 size servos in. And by the way, the plast, although heavy, was awful nice to work with, especially when I was kind of hinging it on itself. And then the only other interesting feature is I rebuilt the firewall and put the 4120 in there. I think that's a 14 top. I had a 15.8 and I went down just to try
the 40 size axi motor.
And then the battery lives in the nose cone. And then we'll see how this goes.
I hate my background music.
All right, everyone, it's time. We're putting our best pilot on the job. Brother Neil is the launcher. All right, slide.
Yeah, there's Neil.
For the best and prepare for the worst, Jason.
With this, what are you
thinking just like that.
It's so good. It's like those cartoon planes.
No, I would account for the dip. Use that.
You just got to climb out.
If it dips, you have less ground there.
We'll find out. Yeah, real quick.
Yeah. Does it work? The suspense.
We tons to throw. Oh, you're fine.
Climb. Nope.
That was full throttle.
I could see like the angle because of the motor was so heavy it was drooping.
All right. Yeah, I had a 3 cell.
Maybe more air.
And, now we're going to give it a shot.
Short.
Yeah, it's kind of angled down. It's got like down thrust. So
yeah.
Trying to overcome that. I can see it now in hindsight looking at it. I'm like, yeah, look at that.
Maybe if you threw it off a building. Oh, who the heck shot that?
It didn't like immediately tip stall and roll on itself, so it was actually gliding.
I'm really disappointed, man. The problem is we break a prop every time we crash.
It's like, what's that, $8?
This airplane.
What are we going to do? I say
we're going to let it defeat us, or we're going to get it.
Let's think about it.
Good
So we're running a 4 cell and we're running 4120. How much? What do you think? A bigger prop? It's got to put a 15 on it. I checked the battery before we left. I got another one.
Prop on it. Let's try it one more time.
It's like
one more time.
So we can get more runoff room. Maybe if we get some speed going, then it'll have some authority to climb a little bit.
All right.
You know what? There's no way there's prop over that rear elevon. No way.
Yeah, no, it's got to get some airflow going.
That camera.
I remember that thing.
Did you edit this? Because that's pretty good music editing.
I don't know.
What is that?
That is a FPV plane. See, I'm flying FPV right there.
I wonder if that's yours or mine.
I think it was mine. I did a review on it. I can't remember the name of it.
Hey, the fucking chicken.
Fucking chicken.
Wow. That thing only comes out like every 10 years.
Still one of the coolest RC airplanes ever.
It's hanging out in the back, but I'd sure hate to crash it. All right, we'll skip around a little bit here.
Some little chicken in the air. I saw you do a loop with it.
It is funky though, because I kept trying to trim it out and I realized there's no trim here. Anywhere if I at all, it would be a little bit off.
Yeah.
But I just flew it. It flew great.
Nice.
So
And,
yeah, tell them what you learned today.
So I flew the Vall Avante RC Ranger with the FPV from my screen of the what is it? The Black Pearl 7 or 8 inch monitor with diversity, and I flew it from that so I could still visually look up and see the airplane. And what did I end up doing the second flight was go ahead and hooking up the Zeiss Cinemizer goggles,
which
yeah,
jealous of your Cinemizers, but you go ahead and tell them how beautiful it was.
So the screen looks amazing. They are the best goggles I've ever had on. Like, they look awesome. And it's so comfortable and lightweight. It doesn't feel like it's trying to fall off your face all the time, which is great.
Well, there's some old news.
Wow.
Old tech.
We've been doing this a long time, Mr. Jim.
Well, you know, we've been doing it a long time before I was like, hey, let's start going out and shoot video.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's true.
I wonder, like, when did I start looking older? Well, I know 9 years ago I looked pretty dang good.
Pretty good.
You haven't changed a bit, really. You still have the same look, man.
I look better than some, but not as good as others. Hey, everyone, are you ready for the news? We have some new advertisers and all kinds of stuff this week. That's exciting for me. So let's jump over to rcgroups.com, the world's most active RC forum. And we are looking at the blog of the week from whose blog of the week is this?
Frank. This is 2 in a row for Frank, by the way. Putting together another 162 Salamander and doing some modifications. It's just, again, more just hobbyists doing their thing, you know. So a lot of pictures, a lot of info, cool stuff.
And that's what the site's all about. I want to go somewhere. I look at the blogs every morning, and I am blown away at the random, very interesting things that people are doing in the blog section.
Yeah, it's so active. It's crazy.
Have you seen the guy with the leash videos?
Yeah.
What is he doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, there's the guy with the scale rocket, RC rockets and stuff. It's just cool. It's just
we're gonna get to the leash video, and then I want someone to tell me what's going on here. So every morning you can get on here, and there's something interesting. Dodge. Some of these videos that you'll see are not in the English language. Vall Avante. And we have some videos on the new Micro Draco. I've got one I'm looking for that I'll stop on.
Might be a couple pages deep.
It might. Hopefully,
but yeah, I mean, it's just new stuff piling in there all the time. Personal projects, events, coverage. There's one of the rockets. You know, it has the shuttle.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. Does a lot of scale, just scratch built designs like that. It's pretty awesome.
Here we go. Okay, so this guy took a Micro Draco and he taped. This is like the olden days when you get, what are these cameras called?
They're little fly cams, and yeah,
they're literally on with Scotch tape.
Yep.
So look, he's taped them on the wings.
Keep fob cameras, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then there's another one on the engine bay. Right here on a stick.
Oh, okay.
How do you get the CG just right? I don't get it.
Yeah. Some airflow issues I can imagine happening there, but it's a view you don't get to see very often.
That's pretty good. Hi, Alpha, baby. Anyway, just interesting stuff in there. And I'll find the leash guy for our next broadcast, and we can talk about it. HobbyKing is having this is a big deal. You may not be aware of how big a deal this is. New containers arriving in the U.S. warehouse for HK, and they're discounting on all your back order items. And so I watch this every day as well to see. Usually they have stuff coming into different warehouses. This is a big deal that it's coming into the U.S. warehouse. There's a lot of stuff going on at HobbyKing. So
if it's in stock, you can buy it.
There should be a rhyming word for that. If it's in stock, I'll get back with you later on the.
Get ready to rock.
Yes, that's it. Bingo. Speaking of 3D printing.
So here it is. This is so cool. You got to show the video. It's a scale. I don't know how scale it is, but look at that. It's a Harrier, and they're getting to where they're having, functional rotating nozzles. And
wow,
he's still testing, right? So they didn't show any like VTOL takeoff and landings yet, but it's coming. And it's just the engineering. Like you don't need to wait on a manufacturer to spend all this time and money and energy and then build it for you. Like you can create it yourself.
And he didn't do the
creating it and sharing it.
He did the nose cam, and he's even printed a receptacle for the carbon fiber tube to fit in. That's cool.
Right. And
That's
yeah,
the
he's
beauty.
got if you were wondering, if you haven't seen it, but they had all the right there, you can see all the little
Yeah.
pieces of yarn. So that's so they can do, you know, airflow tests and watch the video footage and see what the air is doing over the wing, if they've got any problem areas they need to design differently or something. But I mean, it's just the level of design and engineering, just home built, 3D printed, like prototyping stuff and making it work. It just blows my mind.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
Look at that big thing behind him. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Also 3D printed.
That is awesome. A mad scientist. All right, moving on. This is probably the biggest news of the week. At least, I don't know. What do you think, Chase? Do you think this is
Pretty
big?
cool. I mean, yeah, it's a new Thursday, new plane release day.
With this said, I am in talks with RJ. There is a chance, although I don't think it's really going to happen at this moment, that he could ping me and say, hey, send me a link, and he could jump in the news feed. If that doesn't happen, because he and I have been trading PMs all morning, I will definitely be talking to RJ, and I'll get a video out of us talking about the new RC plane based on his scale.
It'd be crazy. I think I'd have to go back and see if I can find it, but I think I flew and competed against RJ in the pyramid in Memphis way 15 years ago or more, probably, for one of Frank Knoll's events. That was a good time.
And this is why talking to RJ is important to me. I don't know when he got on the scene, but I know that he was definitely fully engaged when you and I were out at competitions and going to Toledo and sponsoring FOMI competitions. Also, the ETOC, and then its brother.
Yeah.
But there were multiple, and RJ was always involved somehow.
Yeah.
And
fantastic pilot all around. Yeah.
I think what happened was he took his love of RC and then went full scale with it.
Yeah. And then now we get to benefit from that with the matching trim scheme on the Decathlon.
It's the story is that you know, he is an RC pilot gone full scale, and so here's the full scale plane in the RC plane.
Yeah, so cool.
Another aspect of this that I've heard people describe his full scale flying is he does RC based maneuvers, which full scale pilots don't always do things based on RC, right?
Right. Yep.
So he's kind of a different breed of pilot.
I think this came about at I think it was Oshkosh maybe, with Stephen Prachado. They just were hanging out at the show and started talking ideas, and then here it is in fruition, full circle.
It seems to me that David Payne is the guy to go to when you're doing a scale plane to RC version, since he was on the Patey plane.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, good stuff. When I get RJ on, we'll have him talking about all the features and aspects, and
yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on one eventually. It looks awesome.
Look at that. Can you imagine? Hey, we're going to fly out, hang out with RJ. We're going to bring David Payne with us, and then we're going to get the full scale and the RC. That would be fun.
I'm sure those boys had a good day right there.
Very nice. And once again, all the information is right here in this thread. Here's a link to the page. Let's see what we got. I'm always curious. Is it in stock? And the price is $269, 100% affordable. So where am I missing the in stock?
Early, what does it say? I can't read it.
I miss it. So it's not there yet. Pre-order.
Maybe.
I don't
know. Oh, it does say pre-order at the top. Yep.
Okay. Well, be sure and pre-order it. Very cool. It's everyone's dream to have somebody redo your plane.
Oh yeah.
Jason Cole, man, the views on this are crazy.
Is it?
Yeah, once again, I cruise through all the forums. I look at anything that's really popping, and this was nuts as far as views and the amount of time since you'd posted it.
Yeah.
Drawing him up.
Oops.
And that's how you take it apart.
So, you know, people try to dissect it and try to see, like, I tried to, like, pixel people a little bit. Like, all right, what was the ailerons doing? Was it, like, reversed ailerons? Was it a gyro, like, backwards setting? Or was it did he pull up too soon and tip stall? It's up for debate. People are talking about it, discussing it on the thread there. But either way you look at it, that's a bad day for that airplane.
Well, let's go.
Okay,
here.
So here's the other thing. this is a FIMI original EDF electric plane, and they just said, we're going to put a turbine in it.
Okay.
So it's a turbine engine, and you know, it's a horizontal stabilizers right in the way. You can see they put some foam, like I don't know if it's aluminum tape or metal tape to try to keep the heat from melting the foam. I have to imagine if it did get in the air, all that hot exhaust is eventually going to do some funkiness to that horizontal stabilizer and elevator. Probably wasn't
I'm pretty sure
going to last long.
This thing's over too. No one's putting this back together. I mean, maybe.
Oh man. I mean, hey, they're having fun. They're like, hey, I've got a turbine engine. What can I throw it in? And let's throw it in this airplane. The next one. Yeah.
Hey everyone, TailSlide Aviation, sponsor of Flying Giants and RC Groups. I just wanted to let you know this is new, the AR IBEC and the 3K smart battery. So
what's it do? I don't know. I don't really know anything about it.
Well, let's look at this smart battery.
Hi folks, Brendan here from Advanced Radio, and we're going to be showing you the new AR smart battery. Available in 3K or 3000 milliamps and 6K, 6000 milliamps. Ooh. This is the future of 8.4 volts RC technology. So in my hand, as you can see, we've got the smaller version, which is the 3K, lighter, and the bigger version, which is 6K. For reference here, I'm just going to show you a typical 5000 milliamp 2S LiPo pack, and you can see the difference.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming in at 120 grams for the small one. It features, both packs feature your built-in balancer circuit, built-in smart circuit, okay, with a press to check button, and that actually shows up the LEDs there. Yeah, 10 cool. LEDs, fully charged is all the way to green, and then as a cool feature of these packs is if I hold this button down for about 10 seconds,
yes,
just bear with me, it'll start to go into discharge mode.
Perfect.
Now what that's done is that's gone into storage mode and balance mode. So when you finish flying for the season,
so the description is 100% correct. It's a smart battery.
Smart battery. Yeah, cool.
But you can go check it out. There's a link right here. Go to TailSlide and check them out. Great company, kind of an emerging company. They've been around a while, but just great 3D planes in general. Banggood reached out. I'm being very honest here. I got an email from Banggood in the middle of the night, and I looked down, and it says, Banggood Hobby started on rcgroups.com, and we want to reach back out to you.
Okay.
I was like, now that's the kind of email you want to read. It was very nice. I read it to my wife and my daughter, which I don't generally read emails from people in the RC industry at night while we're watching TV, and they both said that. They were like, oh, that's real sweet. So it was a real nice letter. And this is what's got me looking at some kind of FPV craft of some sort.
Yeah, this is wild looking. It's
all about VTOL.
Nice.
So it's a Manta, and it's a VTOL. That makes me a little nervous. I've been around VTOL vehicles. Yeah, they're a little tricky.
Yeah. Seems like the flight board technology is improved quite a bit. Now it's probably much easier to do that and transition to, fixed wing mode versus hover mode.
Have you seen anything on this unit?
I have not. Not before your article. Sure not. It looks interesting though. It's definitely more and more VTOL type aircraft like you're seeing produced. So pretty, and it looks like it's great size. Throw in your car, go FPV, and then you don't have to worry about. I love that you don't have to worry about like a landing area, like a big, a long straight, tree free place to bring it in and glide and land. You can just hover it down like a drone. So you kind of get the benefits of both drones and airplanes that can be faster and smoother and, just they fly in a different way. So you can kind of get both of that experience in one airplane.
Walk Snell has really been bringing out some interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a FIMI based plane. So maybe that's what's on board. I'm just going to look a little more. Okay, this is good. I'll turn the volume up.
You could get away with that and come back and land by the home plate. It's pretty slow.
So you feel like you're going further than you really are, and you're just able to cruise and enjoy with the stabilization. And I told him it was kind of like, I still felt like I was in like multi-rotor mode, even though I was flying it in fixed wing because of the stability. It was just super easy. I just kept my throttle in the mid section here and pushed forward on this stick, and I just kept going. It was really, really neat. So I have to definitely recommend this for anyone that wants kind of like an all-in-one experience. If you've never flown fixed wing before,
cool.
What a great thing to be able to take off vertically like this in multi-rotor mode and not have to kind of toss it and hope for the best. Like I have done that so many times with the fixed wings that I have here, and I have one right here to fly for you. This is the Penguin, already all set up with DJI. This is a twin engine, but it is not VTOL, so I have to toss this one and hope for the best on that flight test. So I'm not looking
forward. That's a good point, because a lot of drone guys that want to get into fixed wing but don't have any experience with airplanes or know how that aerodynamically works.
We were in Ashbro, and I had one of my older FPV planes, and I had another guy was flying it, and before I could say stop, they threw it and like just jacked it all up.
Yeah,
and they took a really expensive, nice FPV plane, and just in one toss, the day was over. At least
all it takes.
For our flight test today, we test.
Sometimes I'm going to stop here. Sometimes I don't know what to do. You know, if you're at the field and you see someone doing something and you know that they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. That's the best approach.
Should I jump in and say, stop? Or is that not my place? Should I mean, if somebody was going to do something dangerous, I will. In fact, I was in Mexico once, where I've really stepped off the path here, but I was in Mexico, and a very apparently wealthy man with his brand new DJI was about to launch poolside under palm trees. And I ran up and I'm like, you can't do this. And he's like, sure I can. And I'm like, no, I mean, like, you're going to crash. And he's like, he looked at me like I was crazy. And I just like walked off, and he did crash and crashes a brand new drone. But when I'm at the field, I'm like, do I need to tell someone? Like that Delta Wing, I didn't say anything, and they did completely demolish the plane.
Yeah. What do you guys think that are listening? Go comment and let us know what you think. Are you being a Karen, or are you actually being helpful, or is it a safety issue? Let us know what you think.
Yes, a conundrum. Also, want to let you know CNHL is having a spring surge alert. This is for their lithium polymer batteries. And of course, I link to it and give you some samples and all that stuff. So
I like the name.
Shout out to them. See, I was telling Jason, CHL is talking about sponsoring the RC News. So I was like, hey, that's a very interesting concept. And we're in talks about that. Also, rcbattery.com. having a sale as well on lithium polymers. These are both great companies who have great lipos, and they've been around RC groups for a long time, and they're companies that you can trust and lithium polymers that you can trust. In fact, I actually go and look at reviews and videos about these companies just to see how they rank. And it's really surprising. You know, back in the old days, I'm really going here with my mouth, but Jason, you had to really figure out what battery to use because it could cost you a plane or a drone.
Yeah. Or not fit, a lot of variables.
Or smoke. CA Composites, a totally out of the blue company. This company only manufactures, well, when I say only, let's just go to their webpage because it's pretty broad.
They have like weave and tubes.
Yes, they have everything. Vacuum bagging consumables. That means like everything you would need for vacuum bagging.
Yeah, so this is like a lot of sailplane guys will vacuum, vacuum bag wings and create airplanes and molds and stuff and use those kind of materials.
And when I say they have everything, it would be like, hey, I need to vacuum mold a wing and I don't have anything. I'm fairly certain these guys have everything.
Looks like it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and then any kind of carbon fiber you might want from. They have 90-degree tubes and squares and the whole dang deal. So pretty interesting. There's a link right there, of course. And now we have Jason.
Yeah, so I thought this was really interesting. Most of the 3D printed products that I write about and talk about are like fully 3D printed airframes and stuff, right? You might use carbon fiber for some sparring or supports, but this is a blend of 3D printing and traditional modeling. So much like you would do with like balsa ribs in a built up wing, you 3D print the ribs for this plane. And then you have carbon fiber, and you do have a balsa tail steel in this one just to get the CG to work out right. But then you cover it with heat shrink covering, just like you kind of would a traditional built up model. And it's just interesting because you end up with this lightweight, great performing model that's a lot lighter than a fully, 3D printed skinned plane.
Super
wing.
interesting.
And
concept.
so you kind of get the best of both worlds in a way. But it's still like you break a wing, you can replace the parts easily and fix it and kind of build your own stuff and produce your own materials with the printing part of it. So I think it was pretty cool. I think they were refining the design on this one, and the STLs will be available soon is what the word is, but pretty cool.
Well, the first time we ever went out in the field with a micro discus launch glider like this, I don't think anyone looked at it and thought a thing about it until we started flinging it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became this, hey, we don't want to go back to work. We want to keep throwing this thing in the air.
Yeah.
And that was all balsa. And it did not like being flung. After a certain amount of time, everything loosened up.
Yep. And if you missed that before, I thought that was pretty cool. What he was just showing with the jig. Right there. So it's a 3D printed jig. The white parts on that you set your carbon fiber in the ribs and slide in and everything, and it makes everything in perfect alignment and straight. And so it's like, man, it just makes it easy and fun for people to do that don't have to worry about screwing it up.
And then if you do screw it up while you're flying it, you could pull your covering off and fix a couple of ribs and cover it right back.
F-16 flying over.
Really?
I hear it. Yep.
Well, that's very cool. And who brought this to us? Did you just find this?
I just found it, yeah.
That is awesome.
I find things.
I see things. All right. Well, we've done a little bit of everything today.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be cloudy. It's raining again. There's nothing I can do this weekend. Maybe I'll clean the basement.
Yeah, not a fun RC weekend unless you're in the like indoor or I don't know, simulator time.
Right.
It's about all you're going to get here.
Keep your eye out, hit subscribe so you can get a little ping if RJ jumps on with me and we can talk about his new airplane. That will be awesome. Maybe if it doesn't happen till later next week, I'll drop it in the news in the upcoming, in the following week.
Nice.
So that'll be awesome. Always thank everyone out there for joining us and spending time with us. Be sure and hit the like button and engage and let us know so that we can be motivated to just keep rolling. Jason, always appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. RC Groups. Bye-bye.